Hello and welcome to Dining with Death. This episode is on my playlist, Dining with the Departed, where we talk about famous or infamous people who have passed. We discuss their lives, their careers, what they're famous or infamous for, and then we eat their favorite food or sometimes their last meal. I'm Stacey Lee. Let's begin. Chadwick Aaron Boseman was born on November 29, 1976 in Anderson, South Carolina, to Carolyn and Leroy Boseman. His father worked at a factory and managed an upholstery business, and his mother was a nurse. He graduated from T.L. Hanna High School, where he played basketball, and where he wrote his first play called Crossroads, about a fellow student that was shot and killed. He competed in speech and debate, and even though he was recruited by colleges to play basketball, he chose to pursue the arts instead. He attended Howard University and graduated in 2000 with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Directing. He attended summer drama programs in Europe and traveled to Africa while in college as well. After graduating college, Chadwick began directing stage productions while living in Brooklyn. He also worked as the drama instructor in the Schoenberg Junior Scholars Program at Schoenberg Center for Research in Black Culture in Harlem. He became a very well-known and respected director and continued acting as well. In 2002, he won an Adelco Award and played the lead in Romeo and Juliet and Malcolm in Macbeth. In 2003, Chadwick was cast in his first television role on an episode of Third Watch, and was then cast as Reggie Montgomery in the soap opera All My Children. He was fired from that show for voicing concerns to producers about the racial stereotyping in some of the scripts. He went on to work as an actor on Law & Order, Cold Case, CSI New York, and ER. He received numerous awards for his writing and direction, including a Hollywood Black Film Festival Award. In 2008, Chadwick Boseman moved to Los Angeles as he felt there were more opportunities for acting on the West Coast. He got an important role on the TV series Lincoln Heights, playing Nathaniel Ray Taylor, and then appeared in his first feature film, a movie called The Express, the Ernie Davis story. He was also in the 2010 TV series called Persons Unknown, which did not get very good reviews and only lasted one season. His big break came in 2013 with the film called 42, starring alongside Harrison Ford. Chadwick Boseman played the lead role of legendary baseball player Jackie Robinson. He received fantastic reviews for his portrayal of the historical figure. At the time Chadwick landed this role, he was considering giving up acting altogether to focus on directing, but being cast in this film changed the course of his career. Rachel Robinson, Jackie Robinson's widow, said that watching Chadwick Boseman in the role was like seeing her husband again. Chadwick worked with baseball coaches for months to perfect his batting form, and all of that hard work really paid off. If you haven't seen this film, I would recommend seeing it. I'm not really a sports movie person, but it was really good, and he is absolutely fantastic in the role. Chadwick Boseman also starred in the film The Kill Hole in 2013 as well. In 2014, Chadwick was cast in the starring role of Draft Day alongside Kevin Costner and Jennifer Garner, playing a fictional football player. That same year, he took on the role of playing music legend James Brown in Get On Up, and in this film, Boseman did all of his own singing and dancing. He worked for 8 hours a day for 2 months with choreographer Akeman Jones to prepare for the dance scenes, and he worked with producer Mick Jagger, who coached him on how to interact with live audiences for the filming. After Chadwick had played Jackie Robinson, he said he wasn't really looking to do another biopic film, but the director of Get On Up, Tate Taylor, said Chadwick Boseman was his only choice to play James Brown, and he convinced him to take the role. He received rave reviews for playing James Brown, with critics calling him unforgettable as the godfather of soul. Time magazine's Richard Corliss said, Boseman deserves a Pulitzer, a Nobel, and an instant election to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for his performance. I love this film. It is really, really insightful, and Chadwick Boseman almost disappears entirely in this film. You know when you're watching a really great performance and you don't even see the actor anymore, you see the character? That happens in this movie. 2016 brought the role of Thoth in the film Gods of Egypt, but the film was criticized for using mostly white actors in a film that should have been cast with actors of color, and the film was not very successful. But 2016 still turned out to be a very good year for Chadwick Boseman. He was approached to bring to life the character of T'Challa from the Black Panther Marvel universe. Chadwick signed a 5-picture deal with Marvel Entertainment without even having to audition for the role. He was very involved with writers and producers at Marvel, helping to shape the character of T'Challa, how that character would appear, and what his focus would be. The first of the 5 films in the deal was Captain America: Civil War. The actor playing his father, John Canny, helped Chadwick learn some Xhosa, I hope I'm saying that right, which is one of the official languages of South Africa and Zimbabwe. Learning some of this language helped Chadwick develop his Wakandan accent, the accent that would shape the characters from the fictional land of Wakanda. The film was well received, and the stage was set for Chadwick Boseman to star as T'Challa in the feature film Black Panther. Black Panther quickly became one of the highest grossing Marvel films of all time, bringing in $1.3 billion worldwide. That number is absolutely mind-boggling. Films don't make $1 billion. That never happens. $700 million of that was made here in the States, surpassing Avengers: Infinity War, which made $678 million. Not only was the film a milestone for diversity in blockbuster film, but it was a really great movie. The characters were well developed, the story was interesting and engaging, and the production design was beautiful. Black Panther was not only a box office smash, but a very important and historic film that millions of people around the world enjoy. Peter Travers of Rolling Stone said, "Boseman digs so deep into T'Challa that you can feel his nerve endings." Other critics said things like, "Boseman commands every moment of this film, radiating probity and purpose. Only later on do you realize that with another actor, this wouldn't have been a sure thing." Chadwick Boseman had become not only a star, but an international superstar. He appeared as T'Challa in Avengers: Infinity War, released in 2018, and in Avengers: Endgame, released in 2019. Both of those films were the highest grossing films of their respective years, and Endgame went on to be the highest grossing film of all time. I think what that critic said is really poignant. Chad Boseman was defining a moment in film. If someone else had played T'Challa, I don't know that it would have been as big of a success. He really became that character. In 2017, Chadwick Boseman portrayed Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall in the film Marshall. Boseman worried about his continued portrayal of historic figures, but directors wanted him in those roles, and so did audiences. He was pursued by Hollywood at every turn. He got the chance to do something different in 2019 when he starred in 21 Bridges alongside Sienna Miller and J.K. Simmons. He played Brian Kirk, an NYPD detective who has to shut down all 21 bridges in Manhattan in order to find 2 suspected cop killers. 2019 also brought Chadwick the opportunity to play a part in the Netflix film Da 5 Bloods, to be directed by Spike Lee. Da 5 Bloods was released in June of 2020, with Boseman playing Stormin' Norman, one of the Vietnam War veterans, at the center of the story. He also starred in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom alongside Viola Davis, a film about a very turbulent recording session that took place in 1920s Chicago. Denzel Washington produced this film, and it was received with high praise and critical acclaim. Critics lauded Chadwick Boseman's performance, and the film received 5 Oscar nominations, including a posthumous nomination for Best Actor for Chadwick Boseman. The film was nominated for Golden Globe Awards as well, and Chadwick Boseman posthumously won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama. Chadwick Boseman had a long-term relationship with singer Taylor Simone Ledward, and the couple very quietly got engaged in October of 2019 and then later married in secret. No one knew about this marriage until after Boseman's death, as he preferred to keep that part of his life more private. Chadwick worked and supported several charities like St. Jude's Hospital and the Boys and Girls Club of Harlem. In April of 2020, he donated $4 million worth of PPE, personal protective equipment, to hospitals fighting COVID-19 in Black communities that were being hit very hard by the pandemic. What not very many people knew is that behind the scenes, Chadwick Boseman was fighting a very serious battle. In 2016, he was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. He never once spoke publicly about his diagnosis, and it was later revealed that only a handful of non-family members knew that he was sick. Even those people were not aware of how serious his illness was. Throughout the filming of Marshall, Da 5 Bloods, and Ma Rainey, Chad Boseman was privately and quietly undergoing multiple surgeries and chemotherapy. He did not want anyone to know how badly he was struggling. He worked long hours and hard days while he was, in fact, very, very sick. His cancer had progressed from stage 3 to stage 4, and things were not looking good for the actor. Not even Black Panther director Ryan Coogler or Spike Lee were aware of his illness. They said every day he showed up and gave his best performance. They did, however, notice that his wife was constantly by his side. Clark Peters, who starred in Da 5 Bloods with Boseman, later said, "When I look back at that time, I have to say with a little bit of regret that I judged him for having a large entourage with him on set. I told my wife, he's a bit precious because he's surrounded by people fawning over him. I thought maybe the Black Panther thing went to his head, but now I regret having those thoughts because they were really just looking after him." Boy, if that isn't a lesson in not judging somebody, I don't know what is. And I think it's very big that he would admit that. You just never fully know what somebody else is going through, right? Sometimes you don't know at all. Chadwick's older brother, Derek, said Chadwick would say hallelujah when he was in pain over and over and over, and that he never lost his faith. He said one day, Chadwick looked him square in the eye and said, "Man, I'm in the 4th quarter and I need you to get me out of the game." Derek Boseman said after this moment, his prayers for his brother changed. Instead of praying, "God heal him, God save him," he began praying, "God let your will be done." The day after this exchange with his brother, on August 28, 2020, Chadwick Boseman died. He was only 43 years old. Fans and fellow actors were stunned to learn of the acclaimed actor's death. Suddenly, the photos and an Instagram post of Chadwick looking very thin made sense. People were shocked to learn the actor had been working steadily for 4 years while battling cancer. This photo has always stuck with me as very sad and very beautiful. Chadwick Boseman is being embraced by fellow actor Michael B. Jordan. You can see what Chadwick is thinking. He knows this could be one of the last moments to take it all in, and it's heartbreaking. You can see the gauntness in his eyes, and although he is not nearly as thin here as he got towards the end, he doesn't look very healthy. We lost a great man and a fantastic actor who changed the world of film forever. He spoke out against racial injustice, he donated time and money to people in need, and he left us with a legacy of great film. In a commencement speech at his alma mater, Howard University, Boseman told the graduating class, "You received the majority of your demands, making a significant impact on those who came after you. As is often the case, those that follow most often enjoy the results of the progress you gained. Everything that you fought for was not for yourself, it was for those that came after." Chadwick Boseman fully embodied that belief. The things he fought for would not be achieved during his lifetime, but he has certainly made a better future for those that will follow him. When Chadwick was preparing for his role as a superhero, he was on a very strict diet. He ate a lot of oats and brown rice and sweet potatoes, along with a lot of fish and healthy fats like nuts and avocados. He was once asked which fast food he preferred, Wendy's or McDonald's, and he said neither. A lot of people say he ate mainly vegetarian and sometimes ate only fish when he was looking to bulk up for a role and needed more protein. He was also known to eat a lot of steak and potatoes to bulk up for his role in Draft Day. He was a man who loved his friends and his family and who preferred to keep his private life private, only once hinting at what was happening in an interview in 2018. He was asked, "What do you, Chadwick and T'Challa, have in common?" Boseman laughed out loud and said, "Not much, not much. He's got a lot more money than me." But then he got more serious and said, "Patience and an ability to keep secrets." He kept his secret until he couldn't keep it anymore, and we are all sad he's gone. Chadwick Boseman was once asked what his favorite food was, and he said Thai food. So we're gonna have a little taste today in honor of this fantastic actor that is gone much too soon. I've got a beautiful bowl of pad Thai here with shrimp. I think people like Thai food because this food has the best balance of spicy, salty, sour, sweet. There's a lot of sugar in Thai food, and a lot relatively to other foods. And they always make sure they use acid, which is something that's, you gotta have acid in your food. Let's give it a taste. That little bit of lime juice that is often so prevalent in Thai food, it just brings everything to life. I like mine with shrimp. We have so many things that divide us and make us separate, and especially as of late, it just seems like things are getting worse and worse. I don't know where the end point is anymore. But I do know I like to talk about the things that make us all similar and not so much the things that drive us apart. And food does that for me. I also think the kind of food that somebody likes tells you a little bit about that person. It gives you a little insight into their personality, right? And I enjoyed learning more about Chadwick Boseman, and I definitely am sad for his loss. Thank you for joining me today on Dining with Death, Dining with the Departed. Please like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more from me. It helps me a lot. Stay safe and be kind to each other, and I'll see you next time on Dining with Death.